Okay, this is a question from the WJC Intermediate Paper 2 from November 2005. Obviously, this is an obvious question. It says solve the following equation. And here we have our equation. Now it's a linear equation because we only have x terms. If it was quadratic, we'd have up to x squared. And that would be the highest you could have at this level at intermediate. So let's look at how we're going to tackle this. Well, the first thing we notice is that we have some brackets on the left hand side of our equal sign. We have x's on both sides as well. Now this is about as tough as it gets for a linear equation, apart from the ones with fractions in, which we'll do later. So the first thing we want to do is get rid of these brackets. So if you remember, the number outside the bracket must be multiplied by every term inside the bracket. So 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times plus 7 is plus 21. So that's got rid of those brackets. Equals 35 plus 2x. We didn't touch that side, so it stays the same. Now we've changed it to an equation just with x's both sides. So the first thing that I do is sort out my x's. So I turn it into an equation with x's on one side. Now we've got a 2x term on the right hand side and a 6x term on the left hand side. I'm going to get rid of the smaller of the two just to avoid some negative numbers. It doesn't really matter, to be honest, but I'm going to get rid of 2x on this side. So if I take away 2x, that'll get rid of that. If I do it on this side, I have to do it on the other side. And of course I can only take away 2x from my 6x. I can't take it away from 21 because 21 hasn't got an x in it, so I can't take away x from 21. They're different. They're not like terms. So working down the page, 6x take away 2x is 4x. Plus 21, didn't touch that, so still plus 21. Equals, keep it in a line. 35, didn't touch that. And plus 2x minus 2x is nothing, which is why I did it. So I wanted to get rid of it. So now I've got an equation with x's on one side. Remember, when we're solving an equation, we're trying to find the value of x. We want to end up with x equals something. So at the moment, I've got a 4 multiplied by my x, and I've got plus 21. So I need to get rid of both of these numbers in order to find out what x is. And using the balance method, I can do that in 2 steps. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of my 21. To get rid of plus 21, I minus 21. Do it that side. You must do it the other side to keep the equation balanced. 4x, didn't touch it. Still 4x. 21 take away 21, nothing, which is why I did it, equals 35 take away 21 is 14. Let me just check that. Yeah. So I've got 4x is 14. So again, I've reduced my equation into a much more simpler one. And this is what happens every step. If you do one step at a time, the equation gets simpler and simpler. So I'm just going to draw a line down the middle, and I'm going to write my equation up here again. So I've got 4x equals 14, and I'm going to solve it over here. Now, my x is being multiplied by 4. To get rid of the 4, or appear to get rid of, I do the opposite to what it's doing to x. So the opposite of multiplying by 4, which is what's happening, is dividing by 4. So I'm going to divide that by 4. And I'm going to do it the other side as well, because I have to keep it balanced. Now when I said about getting rid of, it didn't really get rid of the 4. What we're doing is transforming this 4 into 1. And 1x is just x, which is what I want. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. And 1x is x, which is what I want. 14 over 4. Now you can do 2 things here. You can leave it as 14 over 4. And that will get you full marks. Or you could change it to a mixed number. But if you're going to, make sure you change it to the correct answer, because you could lose a mark. So 14 divided by 4, that's what this means. How many 4s in 14? 3. Now, there's 14 quarters basically. 3 lots of those 4 quarters was 12 quarters. 12 quarters is 3 whole ones. And there's 2 quarters left over. And then we could really, and we should, 2/4, simplify it to a half. So x equals 3.5. And that's how you solve a linear equation with brackets on one side and x's both sides. Do one step at a time, get rid of the brackets, sort out the x's, then you reduce it to a two-step equation. The number that's in front of x is always the last number we sort out, because it's the first thing that's happening to x if we looked at BIDMAS. Okay, thank you very much.